All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is Real People, Real Results. My name is Krista Taylor, and my dear friend and co-host is Mr. Kevin Duguay, the very first practitioner with VoxxLife, very first teammate, as it were. And I've invited Kev here. He joins me on this call because he can give you a really quick snapshot as to what this technology is and how it works. Of course, there's lots more information that he's going to be able to provide to you in 5 or 10 minutes, but we want you to have a snapshot so you have an idea of what it is that we're talking about when you hear these two amazing testimonials that we have coming up for you later today. So Kev, my dear, take it away, please.
All right. Thanks, Krista. So I got to go quick because we got a long one today, folks. So here's a basic concept, folks. For all of you that are new or returning veterans, returning rookies, VoxxLife is a wearable neurotechnology company that works through the power of touch. Okay, so it's using different patterns. Okay, it's picked up by your sensory nervous system, and it's coded and decoded and encoded basically through the neural pathways into your brain. And we optimize 6 different networks in your brain. Okay, so that's the simplest layman's terms. We have multitude of videos. I know it sounds incredible, but for those of us who know about touch and how powerful it is, you can probably understand what I'm talking about. So this has been Jay's mission and passion in life. And so here we go with the 6 technologies. And like I said, there's lots of stuff we have on the internet. The person who invited you to the call, happy to share. And you know what, folks, just like I was sharing earlier, you need to have your own experience. Plain and simple, because the science is amazing. So here we go. First one is our flagship technology called HPT, or Human Performance Technology, optimizes the brainstem. I'm going to show you one of our techs. There's a patch. You can see it right there. And there's an etching. There you go. You can see it right there. There's an etching on this patch, folks, that works through the skin, through touch, no drugs, no side effects, no non-invasive, no surgeries, no needles, no drugs, just touch. Optimize the brainstem. Brainstem's responsibility, folks, is balance, power, and stability. Those are its 3 main ones. So I want you to imagine wearing this tech, having an 8x reduction in falls and a 36% improvement in brain function instantly. That's HPT. Okay, that's our flagships. It's called the gates to the castle with the brainstem. Number 2, CBT. I'm wearing it underneath my fleece. I got the old school version. Everyone's put their hands up. I got the right answer. But we got a newer version here. Be smarter, but I just want to show you the inside. This is the science right here. So you can see this gives you a whole different perspective. This is small sleeve. This is wonderful for the kids, just so you know, just saying. And it stands for Cognitive Boost Technology. Optimizes your memory, focus, clarity, anxiety networks in the brain, the cognition. So the thinking part of when you're awake. So if you have any of those challenges, welcome to CBT. Number 3, I love this one, Neurovax. It optimizes your immune system. It's a different color patch, different pattern. You can see it right there. And I wear mine on my upper arm or sometimes on the outside of my hip. Okay. And what it does, when you think of it, is optimizing communication within your immune network. So if you could look at optimizing your blood, which is, we have a video on this and you need to watch it because you will be unbelievably blown away, because you say, how is that possible? Well, when the communication is right, the blood functions much better. And we have a saying, life is in the blood. So we'll leave you with that, dealing with your immune system. Number 4, another one of mine, I talked about this before, is the REM patch. So there's a packaging, REM patch, boom, right there. There's a patch, different color, but it's a different pattern. Optimizes the sleep networks. Okay, worn a little differently, 20 minutes before you go to sleep. Again, all these are non-invasive, drug-free, risk-free, no side effects. Wear it on the upper arm, 20 minutes before you go to bed, or on the back of your neck, between your shoulder blades. Have a nice sleep. Let me know what happens to your sleep. So though you have sleep challenges, we know what the right answer is. You got to be able to sleep like a baby, like my granddaughter. That's another story for another day. Number 5, MetaPatch optimizes advanced metabolism. Okay, so looking at hypothalamus in the brainstem, a bit larger patch, different pattern. Again, looking at the brain-gut connection and optimizing your metabolism without increasing your heart rate. Okay, so the brain gut connection to metabolic network. And number 6, that's why I'm so excited, is the Boomy Sock, which is elevated mind technology, or EMT. So we have this in our socks as well, and the HPT, different pattern, but you can see this on the ball of the foot. And when this pattern touches the peripheral nervous system on the bottom of the foot, works on the limbic system, your emotional system, looking at joy, happiness, and optimism with this technology. So we have 6 different neurotechs, and you're going to hear from the people speaking about their journey and their experience of what 1, 2, 3, 4, or all 6 have done to change and improve their quality of life, which is what it is all about, folks, improving your quality of life. So Krista, back to you.
Thank you so much, my dear.
You're welcome.
That's a snapshot. Boom. That's the Coles Notes version of what this is. And as we said, Kevin could talk about this for 3 days. There's so much information available, and the person who's invited you to watch this has access to that information. So just get back to them. If you're a person that likes to do a deep dive, certainly all of the information is there for you to do that, and we encourage you to do so. The most important thing, the best way to know how this is going to impact you, though, is to get it on your body and see what happens, right? See what happens for you, because what Kevin has described is it's going to improve your overall function for sure. What your body does with that ability, we shall see. And tonight we have Ginette here with us, who I'm very excited to see, who's going to tell us a little bit about how she's been impacted. You should have a message to unmute there, my dear. There we go. I think I got you.
You got me?
I got you. How are you?
Hi, good evening, guys.
I'm so happy to see you. It's great to have you here. Ginette is one of those people who infectiously shares Vox. So I'm so excited for everybody to get to meet her. Ginette, tell us your story. You've had a lot go on in your life in the last few years. And VoxxLife came into the picture. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. First of all, Vox was a gift for me. Just going back a little bit, after losing my husband after 42 years working together 7 days a week, I thought I was stronger than I was. It hit me at one time. So I got into a very low bubble. And so I met some friends after a long time. And I was asking them, because they knew me for a long time. I said, where is that energetic person? And I call myself a sanguine, because from the book that Florence Lutner, I might not pronounce the word correctly, wrote, I am a sanguine in their book. So I'm an energetic, uplifting, always a new project. And all of a sudden I'm done. I don't have nothing. I'm in my bubble. And so I was told by my friend, they say, you had a lot of stuff that came towards you. It's still there. She will revive. Don't worry. And I did. So after that, I went to vacation with my cousins in Florida. And that's where I met my coach, who is Heather Lemsky. So actually, Heather showed me the business 8 months before. She plants the seed 8 months earlier, because of being in my bubble. That was my first time I was traveling. I took the opportunity, or I let myself travel. So COVID hit. I had a 16-day vacation. I ended up having 4 days, 5th day sitting into the airport, waiting for one of the last plane coming into Ottawa internationally. But I came out of that trip and I said, I will travel again. I found that again. So after that, I started working at Tim Horton here in Alfred with 3 magnificent owner. They're a heart on two legs. They became big supporter of Vox for me. And for me, Vox, it was, my hands were hurting so much because I'm a baker. And working into the cooler every day, I had arthritis in my hand. I hurt a tendon in my foot, being of a repetition movement. I had my wrist. And when I started putting the socks on, because what brought me to decide to give a call to Heather again was we had a very serious health issue in our family. Somebody had a stroke. And I gave her a call and I said, would you be able to help us? And she said, yes. So in the meantime, that was on December 29. January 3rd, I was already an associate. So trying the product, and actually we went on to a roller coaster. I was calling Heather all the time and saying, you know, what's this? I didn't know nothing about it other than contacting people. But coming back to the product, a tendon in your foot takes about 6 weeks to heal. So I don't have no more pain. And the moment that really changed the seriousness about what the tech did was 3 weeks after wearing the socks all the time. But because I work at Tim Horton and I asked myself, I'm going to say like Kevin, him is 60 plus, but I'm 65 plus. I'm actually going to be 66 in December. I'm actually going to be 67 in December. So I found that I had a stent, and after a while, it's like you can't put air in your lungs like you should. And one day I went, I was so amazed to see that I was able to put air in my lungs and really, really put air in my lungs. I was like, wow, I was blown away. And I had energy like I was 60 plus. I went back that way. But yeah, and it's been, but like I said, now at Tim Horton, I had, I was like you, Kev. I couldn't stop talking about it. And the girls were like, what the hell is happening with her? You know, so, and I was always in pain before. Pain got away. Didn't have nothing else no more. Still hurts a little bit, but I mean, it's amazing what it did for me. So since January 3rd, I've been wearing the tech. If it's not a patch, it's the NeuroVax patch. I wear the sleeve. Actually, at the Tim Horton where we are, we're about 6 of us that wear the sleeves and wear the patch. And at first, when I started showing them that, people were running after me for patches. I was just new in the business. I only had one pack. But yeah, I did help my sister with all the stress that came from that stroke. And one major thing, my family, actually my mom, passed away of Alzheimer's. And because the 2 girls, I don't know, we're really, really concerned about that. I'm always afraid that if I forget stuff, you know, it's always come in the back of my mind. So as much as I'm going to be able to put that sleeve, you know, that sleeve for me is, I'm like a chicken with 10 heads. I do 10 jobs at the same time. I'm not even done one. I'm already in the other one. I don't know if anybody could relate, but this is the way I am. But when I put the sleeve on, I feel like I calm down and I know exactly where I'm going. And for the people that works with me, their comment for the sleeve was, I have one of my coworker, he had the 2 ADD, ADHD, all the letters there. I never remember which one they are. And for him, he said to my boss the other day, he said, I'm less frustrated when I serve a customer.
Awesome.
I have my nephew. He's been in Ritalin when he was, the medication when he was young. And I said, what did the sleeve do for you? He said, I didn't really see anything different, Matang. But he said, I talk less and I concentrate more on my work. I said, that's okay. The sleeve is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So, it was an amazing, and actually Vox was a gift for me. Being so much into a low self-esteem, I'm in my bubble. It got me a purpose again, why I'm here. And my daughter made a nice compliment to me the other day, and she says, you know what, Mom, because of Vox, I found my mother again.
Wow.
That answers exactly what I was going to ask.
That's pretty deep, Ginette.
Yeah. So, sometimes I talk too much about it. Sometimes I could feel probably pushy or even being, but it changed my life.
Yeah.
So
when you're talking, I'm thinking about, so I met you through Vox. I didn't know you at all before. And I was going to ask you, I'm so glad you mentioned what your daughter said, because I can't even imagine being a family member, seeing you in that dark place. Like, this is who you are, this energy, this enthusiasm, this energy that you put out, your smile, your eyes, like this is who I know. And I can't imagine how heartbroken your family was to be missing that, And you think it's Vox that brought that back for you? Yes,
it did. Because my husband and I always been the kind of person to help everybody. There was a saying in our family, my husband, he was always saying, he says, I don't help nobody no more. I looked at him and I said, yeah, until the next one comes along. He said, oh yeah, you're true. That was the kind of people, and this is the kind of life we had. So coming from Carnival, midway, this was my life. I brought my children up on my Carnival, and it's a passion. It's totally a different style of life, but I was so lost when he passed. First of all, he went so fast that I didn't even have a chance to, kind of even knowledge what happened. But finding Vox gave me a passion. If I'm able to help, I'm not here to help all the world, but if I'm able to change the world of one person, I'm happy.
Wow.
Yeah, if I'm able to change the life of one person.
This is very hard.
Ginette, go ahead, Krista.
This is very hard for me because I now know Ginette. I'm listening to her. I'm fighting back tears. And in the corner of my screen is Heather Lemke, who's the person that introduced Vox to Ginette. So good job, Heather. Thank you for bringing that woman and her energy back to us. Wow. What were you going to say, Kev? Sorry,
I don't know if you can tell she has a French accent, but the Quebecois there. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Yeah. But when Ginette talks about we talk about quality of life or the qualité de vie, and the energy and all this. And I remember, just recently I met Ginette at a hockey event in Kingston, and when you see somebody come alive, we often talk about this. Where you have a physical loss, and it affects you emotionally, in the grieving process. And then you got to work through this, and then your life is a purpose. And then you meet Heather, and then seed is planted, and then, you know, you have a family member that suffered the stroke, and then it starts a new journey. And then all of a sudden, like you're reborn, you know, you have this new sense of mission now. And then you go like, I planted my flag, I'm all in, I'm all committed. And, you know, that's a powerful story. And sometimes things come around at the right time when you need it. And Heather was there for you at that moment in Florida. And, you know, you look at the stories and where you are now and the people you've helped, just like it must be a whole different energy at that Tim Hortons in Alfred, Ontario. One day I got to make that road trip and drop in on the gang, as they say.
Yeah.
But
and actually,
you know,
from those people that I work with, 2 became my associates.
Yeah.
And my boss, we talk about the business all the time. And I'm the oldest there. Does it show? But it doesn't matter. I'm the oldest there.
All right.
But
sorry. I love it. It's amazing. You know, just transforming lives, like you said, Ginette, one at a time, just like serving customers, right? You serve one at a time at the drive-through. One at a time, you know? So it's very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. It's awesome.
Sure. Ginette, one piece of advice. Somebody's listening to this. Maybe they've tried the socks. Let's say they've tried the tech. They're like, yeah, it's helping me. I see that. But I don't think I don't know if I could do it as a business. What would you say to them? She muted?
I think she froze. As they say in French, she's gelée.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, we lost her. Oh, we gotta get her back again. Maybe we get her back into the call.
Yes, I'm just looking.
Yeah.
No, I must have lost her. Okay. Oh, there she is. Ha! I got her.
Good.
There you are.
Yeah.
What piece of
I'm back.
advice would you give?
It cut off a little bit, so
It's okay.
sorry about that.
We found each other. What advice would you give to somebody that they've had a good experience with the tech, they noticed some improvements for themselves, but maybe they're just thinking they never thought about doing a business like this. They don't know. What advice would you have for them?
They actually the first one I would say is they have to wear the tech. They have to wear the socks. They have to have their own story. They have to experience it. If they don't, you know, you cannot just wear the socks one day, not one day, the other day. You take the challenge of 21 days. You miss one day. I'm sorry, but you started at 1 again. And I told that to my boss because he was wearing, I was trying to get him to wear the socks. And I said, you know what? You start wearing the socks, you skip number 2, you start again. You skip number 3, you start again. So, and he said, okay. So, yeah, I really, really believe about the 21 days, you know. And I had one of the girls that was, at first, what it touched me the most, and I knew that I was doing something right. One of the girls that we work with at the Tim Horton is a skeptic one. And everybody had patches or socks or anything, you know, everything was going around over there. And one day she says, oh, your stuff doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. I said, hey, what do you want me to say? I said, do you wear socks? She says, yes, but says, continue working them. I says, one day they're going to work. One day she gives me a call. Actually, I think I was with Heather on the phone call. She gives me a call and I said, okay, what's the matter? She says, I would like to excuse myself, to
apologize.
I'm sorry. Yeah, apologize. And I said, why would you apologize? It says, we didn't get any fight today. Why? She says, your socks are working. And I went, yes. I was like, you know what? And she wears socks all the time now. So she told me she wanted to apologize to me. Mm-hmm. She says, I'm a true believer now. I said, okay, I'm on the right path then. So, yes. And yeah, for sure, for me even was financial help. At first, I didn't even do it for the money. I didn't even know there was some money in it. but he helped me. But I'm so happy to, I found a new family, put it this way.
Wonderful.
Blessing that is.
Amazing. Amazing.
Oh, such a blessing. Thank you so much, Ginette. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing.
Took me a while to decide because I knew my story was more emotional than really physical, but I knew that I did touch a few people in my path. So
yeah, and I would say everybody that's had the pleasure to get to know you is so grateful.
Yeah.
So grateful.
I'm usually a happy camper, so
yeah, I'd say that's true. So,
you should have seen the picture that we took in Kingston with Kevin. I was with Kevin and with another associate. They're like this, I'm like this. I'm only 5 foot, eh? So
she's been between two hockey players. It's like David and Goliath, you know,
I can imagine.
Like little pit bull in the middle, little pit bull Ginette in the middle there type of deal. So we're good. You got good bodyguards. We got your back. We got your back, Ginette. We got your back.
Fantastic. Thank you, my dear. Well.
Yeah.
Oh, see? See?
It's always good. Always good, Krista.
That's a big story for her family, right? To get their mama back.
Yeah, you know what? It's very you know, I think the most gratifying with this is when you're able to make an impact on somebody so dear to you, and you have a sibling reach out, whether it's a parent to a sibling or you know, a child saying, you know, I got you back. I mean, I've had this because of the brain, right? I've had this with players with concussions.
Right.
You know, I says, I got you back. Yeah, they're a long way from this. They were a long way from where they needed to be, and they need to get home. You know, when they get home, and then it's because we're always, the connectiveness that we have with each other is very, very powerful, and in family, it's the strongest. Like, you know, your blood relatives is the strongest, and when you're losing somebody that you love very much and you get them back, oh my gosh. I've been there. I can in a different way. You have to. We all have. I think everybody on this call has been there. Yeah, I got one of those family member stories. Yeah, it's, you hold on to it. You know, that's how powerful it is. So, wow.
Up next, speaking of family member stories, up next we have. I'm going to play for you a video that I recorded, an interview that I recorded this afternoon, because our guests for this interview actually live in Ireland. And they wanted to share their story, and I did not have the audacity to ask them to stay up until 3 or 4 in the morning or whatever time it is for them right now. So we pre-recorded the interview, and I'll tell you, typically we try to keep these tight because we don't want to take up too much of your time, but I hope you will allow me to share the full duration of this. Well, actually, this is a clip of an hour-and-a-half conversation, but I hope you'll sit and listen to this story. It's 25 minutes, and it will be live here in the VoxxLife testimonials. If you need to go, we totally understand. Please pop in there and watch it at some point. I'm going to play it for you now, and I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I enjoyed getting the story. So.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Krista Taylor, and today I have the opportunity to talk to David and his daughter, Alyson. And typically, this would be done live on Real People, Real Results, but our friends are joining us from Ireland. So when we're watching this together, they will be fast asleep, I hope, enjoying their good slumber. So they've agreed to meet with us this afternoon in our time, and we're just so grateful to hear this story. So David, Alyson, welcome. Thanks so much for doing this.
No problem.
Tell me, Alyson, what, you are almost 18 years old now, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So your dad was telling me life was pretty normal. And then when you were 15, that changed a bit or a lot. Is that right?
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit of a picture of what happened there?
I'm getting a nudge onto the table here. I think I have to do the talking.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I get it.
So, yeah, she's a perfectly normal child for the first 15 years of her life. And one weekend in March 2019, she came down the stairs one morning with severe abdominal pain. And she had a pretty active day before, swimming pool, etc. We thought she just pulled a muscle. And then the pain got worse and worse. And finally, she was admitted to the hospital for all sorts of tests. Couldn't find anything wrong. Kept in for a couple of days, sent home again. The pain got worse, and then it went to her, started experiencing pain in her head. And again, back into hospital, couldn't find anything wrong. Throughout the summer of 2019, she went several tests, medical examinations, cameras, etc. Still couldn't find anything wrong what was causing the pain, and she was in excruciating pain. Then after one of the investigations, she developed like seizure activity, convulsions, and then her right leg actually stopped working. Her right leg seized solid and was ice cold. She couldn't bend her knee. She couldn't even move her hip. Ended up, she was in a wheelchair, and her mobility was gone. And back into hospital again, obviously, to assess the convulsion seizure activity. All her tests came back as normal. Alyson at this stage needed help to get into bed, get out of bed, to the bathroom. She lost all independence. And to make a long story short, one day, we were in May 2020, we were at our wit's end, and we had exhausted everything that was available to us through our health service. Health service had done all the checks, they couldn't find anything wrong. And I was scrolling through LinkedIn, above all things, and I came on a post of this gentleman explaining how putting on a pair of socks and a sleeve on his partner had improved her mobility and had given her a better quality of life. I didn't know who this guy was. Turned out to be our good friend Keith Mason and his partner Iona Kelly. And I sort of was flicking through it, and then I went past it, and then I went back and I took another look at it again, and I said, there's something crazy here. Like, how can a pair of socks, how can a sleeve help? I didn't know who the guy was, and I just sent him a personal private message and asked him for some more information on what this was. So he sent me his telephone number, we called him, and he told me about this wearable technology. And I'll be honest with you, I sort of was looking at it with skepticism. And I came home and I talked to my wife and told her what I had seen and what I had heard. And she said, well, we've explored a lot of stuff. We've done a lot of procedures. To date, nothing has helped. We'd feel really bad if, for the sake of a pair of socks and a sleeve, if we didn't try it. So I ordered the socks and sleeve. A few days later, they arrived. And I was working, it was on a Saturday morning, and I was working, and my wife sent me a few WhatsApp videos. Of course, above all times, I didn't open them, and then she phoned me and she said, I sent you some WhatsApp videos of Alyson. And she said, you haven't opened them. And I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's the problem? She said, no. She says, our Alyson can walk again. I was, okay. She said, the socks arrived. The socks have arrived. And she was all excited, and I was all sort of out of breath. She said, no, the socks have arrived. I put the socks on Alyson, and Alyson can walk across the house.
Down the hallway.
Down the hallway in the house. So Not perfect, but a lot better than she was before, because
I
before
used to use a walking frame and a wheelchair, and I did.
today you don't need any of that.
Yeah.
She just has a walking cane for sometimes when she goes somewhere she's unsure of. So she can
For
walk.
a longer distance.
She can walk normally now, pretty much. So
What was Alyson?
with
Talk to me.
the-
What was going on with what was going on in your head? Your mom puts these
I
socks
don't know.
in the mail. What did you think?
Don't know.
I don't know
Just
either.
happy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you a video of her walking that day for your viewing, and it's quite nice to watch. Now, look, I want to be careful. I want to say something here. The Vox have helped immensely. Obviously, we have assisted with other therapies and physiotherapies, etc. Okay, but without the Vox socks, Alyson cannot walk.
Really?
It's
If I
just
took them off now, I can walk.
Wow.
yeah, it's just a wow like that. If I remember one night, she called me to lift her out of bed to get to the bathroom, just after we got them, and she had no socks on at that point. She'd kicked the socks off in bed, and I lifted her out of bed. I lifted her out of bed, and she stood up, and she tried to walk to the bathroom, and she collapsed on top of her sister's bed and said, "Daddy, I had no socks on." So I reached around, put a pair of socks on her feet, and up she jumped, and away she went.
So it's like that for you.
It's instant. It is her effect. The effect on her is instant. You know, it's inside we've heard about the 7 seconds from Jay, and it definitely works inside 7 seconds. By the time she had her second sock on, she can walk.
Wow. Wow.
Some people, we have had neighbors, we've had friends come in, and they've sort of wondered about it, you know, and we've demonstrated it to them, and they are blown away by the fact that a simple pair of socks improves her mobility and her walking so much.
Oh my goodness, this is extreme. This is a really extraordinary result. I have actually, I know a few people that have had extraordinary results, but like you're on one of like 5 that I can think of that have that kind of.
Yes, I'd be very careful when I'm explaining to other people about the instant results that Alyson had. Some people do take a little bit more time to see immense results, but we have since conducted brain mapping on Alyson with our dear friend, Dr. Mark.
Really? Okay, tell us about that.
And the difference in her brain maps is crazy. You know, from baseline, HPT, and eSmart, it's just so different.
How's the sleep?
Ah, you like the sleeve?
Of course. Of course, we can't survive. Our routine now in the whole household of 6 here, 2 adults and 4 children, it's just like getting dressed in the morning. We make sure we have our HPT socks on, we have our eSmart sleeve, and we don't leave the house without our Neurovax patch.
Me too. Where am I? Me too. So what is the sleeve? Why do you wear the sleeve, Alyson? What do you notice with the sleeve?
Good for my headaches.
Really?
Yeah. They're a lot less.
Yeah.
So
So they're still there, right? It's not like we're not pretending that it cures anything or anything like that, but less
Yeah.
headaches.
Because I have a lot of headaches with my seizures.
Right.
Okay. Alyson's seizures, her convulsion seizure activity was very severe.
Yeah.
She was having up on towards 30 seizures per day, lasting anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes each. So thankfully that is all reduced as well.
About 5 a day now.
About 5 a day, 2-3 minutes maximum.
Yeah, 5 or
Sorry.
something.
Yeah.
So from from how many a day to 5 a day?
Yes, we
Yeah,
check,
but yeah.
we check ourselves that we're not exaggerating, but yes, 30 per day, 30.
Yeah.
And then about 10 or 15,
and
then down to 5.
5 a day.
5. And then you
But
said they're
being
like
not
2 or 3 minutes now?
Yeah,
yeah,
2 to 3
or
minutes.
5, yeah.
A long one now is 5 minutes.
And they were going up to, did you say up to
30
minutes?
30 minutes, yes.
Had to call an ambulance a few times.
Yeah.
When they
I know
went
some
over
people
that,
do.
we called the ambulance. We called over here, it's 999, you guys 911, but
Yeah.
we're not medically trained, so we didn't know how long to take this. So, so it's been an interesting journey, difficult one at times, but to be honest, we are thankful that things were overruled, that we found VoxxLife, or VoxxLife found us. And thankful that Alyson is not on a lot of medication. Through physical therapies and the use of the technology, Alyson has seen improvements.
Wow. So Alyson, talk to me about things that you can do now that you couldn't do before.
I can go up and down the stairs myself. I can go up into bed and out of bed. I can shower myself and get my clothes on. And I can get in the car myself.
To tell Krista about the swimming.
Oh, we went to swimming in holidays in July, and I put the socks on in the pool because we tried it without, and I couldn't swim. I was like drowning or trying to do it, and then when I put them on, I was doing front flips and handstands in the water.
I love that. I'm a water baby too, so I know how important that and how good that must have felt to have that freedom in the water.
Yeah.
For sure. Wow. So Alyson, do you go to school?
Yeah, I go to a place called Clanrye. It's for people with disabilities, and it's for 3 years. I'm second year now.
Okay, cool. Did anybody at school notice a difference when you got your Vox socks?
Yeah, well, they didn't really know about Vox socks, but they noticed that I used to use a walking frame on rollator and 2 crutches, and now I use just 1 walking stick. Because they used to help me lift my foot up the stairs all the time. Then when I could do it myself, they're like, whoa.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Oh my goodness. So I'm still thinking about, you know, how scary it must have been.
Yeah.
To, in the first place, like, David, I can't even, I'm sure that was too much. And then, so you were saying that you were exhausting all of the options. Like, this is what parents do, right? You were looking for something. And I love what you said. Your wife said, like, what if, right? What, like, how could we not try them?
Well, we had our health service over here is free at the point of use. Okay, but sometimes that can lead to long delays for access to the services that we need. So we didn't have private medical insurance, so we had paid for a lot of the investigations ourselves to get it done, to see what was happening, or what, obviously just to get it done faster. And maybe there is 1 or 2 services which we can pay for, which will give you a little bit better quality service, as in more advanced equipment. So that had all come back as clear. So when we counted it up and said, well, for the sake of £100, why not try a pair of socks and a sleeve and see what happens here? So that's what we did, and we are glad that we were open to try it.
Yeah.
You know, and
so Alyson, what's your favorite thing to do? Like, what's your favorite thing that you can do now that you couldn't do before? you found your Vox?
I like to walk around our garden and go on a swing and play basketball in school.
So those are things that you got back, playing basketball and going on a swing. Also, I'm a big fan. Those are things you got back for trying the Vox socks.
Yeah.
And the other things, as your dad was saying, obviously you've been doing a lot of work, right? You've been doing a lot of work over the whole time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of work.
Physio.
A lot of physio, right? Right.
Mhm.
A lot of physio, a lot of testing, a lot of different therapies, I would expect.
Yeah.
So these, would you say that these are a tool for you? A tool in your kit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever take my socks off. Only if for the shower, but then I have to sit down because I have a wee short stool.
Yeah.
I can't stand up properly.
Dad, what? Give it back. That's extraordinary.
It says, you know, as I say, we're thankful we ever found Vox HPT. And also, while Alyson's illness has been quite challenging for her, difficult for her, she suffered through it. Now, when she's coming on the other side and looking back, she's thankful that through VoxxLife, she has actually been able to help other young people who have had difficulties. And she has shared her not her socks, but shared socks and sleeves with other students which she's come in contact with.
My school.
So and it has helped other children as well and other young people. Then when we saw the benefits of Alyson, all of the family were it, and my parents and my wife's parents, we all were it, and
Yes.
we've been able to share it then with many other people, and it's when you get the feedback that you get about how it has helped their quality of life, it's definitely it's a completely different feeling.
Alyson, what do you say to other kids when you're talking to them about your socks or sleeve, maybe for them?
Well, one time they seen it on my arm like this, and they said, "Have you hurt your arm?" And I said, "No, it's good for concentration and headaches and stress." And the socks I wore for walking.
And do they usually try it when you talk to them about it?
Well, my friend had a sore ankle that he broke it a few years ago, and then he put them on for his pain, and it helped.
How did that make you feel?
Good.
Good. Good. Wow, woman. Think of the difference in your life now that you're up running around, playing basketball, swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was funny. Okay, it was funny at this stage to watch her in the swimming pool trying to swim and just couldn't get going. And she came over to the side, and her mum put her socks on, and away she went. Before she took sick, like Alyson was a very strong swimmer. She's got all her badges. She's got all her.
Yeah.
She was just a water baby.
Not as good as I used to be, but almost.
But almost. That's pretty good.
Yeah. She needs a little bit of practice, more practice, but
yeah. Well, that's what swimming is. How long ago is it that you found VoxxLife?
In May 2020, the 9th of May to be exact.
I love that you know that. I love that you know that. That says a lot. Why do you know that? Why do you remember that date?
I'm good at remembering dates.
That's the day her socks arrived, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the day her socks arrived.
The day her socks arrived. Holy cow. David, Alyson, thank you so much. Is there anything you want to say to people that are watching this? What if there's somebody watching this and they may be exhausted, because I bet you guys were exhausted as far as all the things that you see. And is it real? Is it not real? Could it help? Couldn't it help? What if there's a dad-daughter combination out there, they're watching this, or somebody in the family's watching this, they're thinking, I wonder if that could help this kid. What do you want to say to those people?
No.
Well, as a father, I would say get it on your kid, get it on yourself, because, you know, with the 30-day money-back guarantee, you know, if you wear it consistently, you wear it according to how we're supposed to wear it, I have no doubt that you will see a benefit. The amount of people who know Alyson's story, as in neighbours, as in over here, and then noticed her improvements and asked what changed, or what medication is she getting, or what treatment is she getting. And when we told them it was simply a pair of socks on the sleeves with neurotechnology sewn in, yes, there was some eye-rolling moments, but on the whole, a lot of the people were willing to try it, and some people said they didn't notice a lot of improvement. But again, it's down to, I've discovered that you cannot prove the product simply with one pair of socks. Okay, because the sock needs laundered, so you need to have it on your feet all of the time. And if possible, that means 24 hours a day in bed as well. And like Alyson wears it in the shower.
Well,
Or now she can do without it in the shower, but she couldn't at the start.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
So now you can go for a shower without it.
Yeah,
but
but
I have a short stool
You
to
have a
sit on.
stool, right? Sorry.
yeah, but she can, like at the start, she literally couldn't take a step. Now, the HPT seems to have improved her brain somewhat, that she can take a few steps,
But not.
but not,
Yeah.
but not
Right.
perfect. But you know, so there has been a repair done. I think a repair has been done on her brain.
2020, right? Like
May 2020.
Yeah.
May 2020. So we're only in
year.
2021 when we're recording this. So, wow.
So in the last couple of months, Alyson has been able to take those few steps without having her socks on.
So maybe there's a day coming where they'll be swimming without socks. You never know.
Yeah, but look at it like this. You know, someone has asked me, you know,
I like them.
if I take the socks off, so then I lost the effect. Well, I answer them usually, well, it's exactly the same with a pair of glasses, with a hearing aid. You know, they don't do you any good sitting on the shelf. So they need to, you know, and what about a pair of socks? You need socks anyway. So why not wear socks that improve your health?
Well, this is the thing, right? And when you go ahead, Alyson, what did you want to say?
There's not really difference in normal socks or Vox, but like the comfortable bit of it.
The comforts and styles are
right. They're comfortable. And yeah. And like you say, you know, I'm just thinking, like, if they're doing that much for Alyson, think about somebody that's not dealing with much. Like, what are they working on there? That's going to be even better. But wow. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming to share with us. We appreciate it so much. And I know everybody's going to want to share your video, Alyson, just to try to help other kids. So we're really, really grateful. It's a big deal that you took the time to come and share. It's your story. And we just appreciate so much that the two of you would come and share it to help more people. It's awesome. Thank you so very much.
okay, Krista. No problem.
What a show, Krista.
Oh, there's that.
Like I say, best reality TV show you will ever watch in your life. Like, I remember talking to David when he shared the video of Alyson swimming, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to watch. I mean, here, like she said, I was drowning. I couldn't swim. I got all my badges. I put my socks in the pool. And now, you know, what we've learned about the brain mapping and neuroplasticity, that she's not the only one, folks. For those of you new to this call, she's not the first one to say, has I been staying in this technology my brain is functioning better over time, that now I can actually, and if you listen carefully, I can now take several steps where before I could not take any without the technology. And so, this is the life-giving tech that comes into people's lives that had lost hope. I'm sure I need a miracle, man. Like I said, we exhausted all the healthcare services. We have numerous people have been down this road. And all of a sudden, the tech goes on and the brain says, and then, folks, that's what I shared at the beginning, right? The 36% improvement is with HPT and 41% is with the sleeve. So think of the math, 36 and 41. It's a 77% improvement in brain function on different networks. But then all of a sudden, those two techs, if you go ever and do a QEEG brain map, just like David and Alyson did, the image doesn't lie. You can't fake this. And he goes, OMG. Now I can walk. Now I just use a walking stick. I don't need a rollator. I don't need a wheelchair. I'm getting back. And I think, Krista, the word for me for Alyson is I think back to Braveheart. We're going back to Ireland here, Scotland. I got freedom. I am getting back my freedom where I had lost freedom before. I couldn't do things by myself. And whenever you can enable somebody who's challenged and give them back more ability, my gosh, it's powerful. And, I've had the pleasure of talking to David on several occasions and sharing stories. And, it's just such a heartwarming story where when you change a child.
Exactly.
When you change a child, there's no greater feeling. There isn't. It's just because they don't know why this, and I don't understand. And they're a young person and they're going, now what? And we all have bumps in the road. And all of a sudden, it's like the road crew came out and said, yeah, we just took care of a lot of the bumps. There's a few more things we're working on. But, the world of science is always changing. And I tell people this is the one constant in life is change. And so they were open to a change. They said, you know what? And for those of you new to this call, you need to check out the story of Keith Mason and Riona Kelly. You got a lot on LinkedIn and different social media. It's you're going to go, there's no way. It's such a powerful story, but it just lines up with, what we get to the extremes of this tech from an elite level athlete to an elite young lady like Alyson going, I got my life back. I have a different quality of life, which now is impacting an entire family. And that is such an amazing blessing. So, wow, what a dynamic duo tonight.
No kidding. Eh?
Amazing,
And
Ginette was
when I was after we talked for another hour after that, and they were showing me Alyson's brain maps, and the data doesn't lie, you can't make it up. It's data. It's just extraordinary. And just so everybody, if you're watching this for the first time, we're not preaching that we bring miracles, but yet we sometimes get to witness miracles. It seems like that's what they are. This does not diagnose, treat, or cure anything. That's not what we're saying. But it is a tool, and it will help your body to function at your optimum. And sometimes your optimum can be extraordinary for people, especially people like Alyson. I mean, that kid was a regular kid until she was 15 years old. She got hit with this condition out of nowhere, and they didn't see a way out. There was no way out. They didn't see a way out. And her dad was scrolling on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And just saw a video. Thought, what if? So please get back to the person who invited you here. Try this. Just try it. Get yourself enough, as David said, one pair of socks is not the thing. Get yourself enough to wear it from laundry day to laundry day. You're covered by a 30-day money-back guarantee. And the money-back guarantee is not to see if it will work for you. That's not what it is. It's clinically tested and proven that it works for everybody. It will put your midbrain towards homeostasis. You will get more balance, more stability, more range of motion, better heart rate regulation, better respiratory control, for sure. What your body will be able to do when it's in that optimum functional mode, we shall see. And we hope that you'll come back and share your story with us.
Krista, can I just close on one thing for the new people on this call? I just on this takeaway. You need to understand, folks, that the nervous system is the most important system in the body because it runs every system in the body. And we have a new hashtag, as I call it, if you want to use that, where a healthy body, in order to have a healthy body, you need a healthy brain. And the two stories today totally exemplify that in regards to Ginette and Alyson, that when the brain isn't right, the body doesn't function where it needs to be. And when the brain is working better, the body lives it out. And that's our new phrase, folks. A healthy body needs a healthy brain. And what we do, our technology optimizes the brain. The brain knows where to send the help. That's what I tell people. It knows everything that's working well and not working well. And its job is to keep you, like Krista said, to be at your optimal level. And it's a process. And so enjoy the process of continuing striving to be your best, because that's what every day is about, being your best.
100%. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Ginette, it was a pleasure as always. And to David and Alyson, we appreciate you so much. Kevin, I'll see you soon with some more stories.
Love it.
Take care, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
VoxxLife offers high-end quality products for people who understand that a healthy body needs a healthy brain. These products do not diagnose, treat, or cure anything. The results reported in this video are unique to these individuals.